Hey YouTube, how you guys doing tonight? It's Uncle Tone 99. It's Tony. What's up? So tonight I'm going to have my final thoughts, let's say, on the Beats by Dre Solo Edition headphones. If you can see the box right here behind me, right there, these are going to be boxed up and these are going back to Best Buy. But before I box them up and get them back out to Best Buy, I wanted to give you guys my final thoughts on them. I got a lot of questions about these headphones. And a lot of you guys wanted to know, what the 4-1 was on these. So, I'm going to give you my thoughts, my experiences with them. And without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, cool beans. So here we go with my final thoughts on the Beats by Dre Solo Edition headphones. I'm not going to go through the whole unboxing thing in this thing. I've already done the unboxing video. I'm sure you guys probably already seen it. If you haven't, feel free to go back and check that out. I'm just going to give you my final thoughts on these in this video. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the cable. This is the new Control Talk cable that is included with the Beats by Dre Solos. I really like this cable. I think this might be the nicest cable I have ever used with a set of headphones. And I would expect that from Monster. Monster are known for making high quality HDMI cables, so on and so forth. Audio video cables, they make cables. So I would expect, the headphone cable from Monster to be very high quality. And it is. Just for comparison, I'll show you the iPhone headphones. It's much thicker. It is much thicker than your standard iPhone headphone cable. Not supremely, huge, fat cable, but it's a good thickness. It's a good sturdy cable. It seems very durable. It seems like it's going to stand up to lots of use, and it seems very high quality. The ends around the cable are reinforced. As you can see, on both ends, it seems like a very good quality, very sturdy cable. As for the Control Talk feature, well, what can I tell you? It works great. The button is very solid, with an audible click. You can hear it snapping there. Even using gloves, I had no trouble. It's cold here, it's winter. Using gloves, I had no trouble operating this cable, this clicker. For lack of a better word, we'll call it the Control Talk clicker. I had no trouble operating it, even with gloves on. It's a really good, well thought out design, and it works great. So there you go, that's the cable. I'm a big fan of this cable. I really like this Control Talk cable. I also love how the cable plugs into the headphones. It's not attached, so if you happen to mess up your cable, you don't have a big issue. You get it caught on something, you get it snagged, you rip it out and it gets broken. You don't have to buy a whole new pair of headphones. You simply buy a new cable and you're good to go again. Really like that feature. That is a great feature, and something that's very nice to include on a $200 pair of headphones. That being said, I like the cable a lot more than I like the headphones. I personally believe that I got a defective pair. After talking about it on Twitter, I ended up talking to Beats by Dre about them for a while, who are also on Twitter. And I told them what I did like and what I didn't like about them, and they told me they're going to forward it to product development, which is very cool. And so let's go over the headphones. They have a nice soft touch, matte, marshmallowy feel. Basically like an iPhone case. They have a nice soft touch feel. They're matte finish, they're not glossy. And as you can see, the hinges do not line up well at all. And that was my first disappointment with these headphones. If you watch my unboxing video, you'll know that I noticed it as soon as I took them out of the box. And as you can see, these hinges do not line up well at all. I'm going to try and zoom in on it here for you so you guys can see. That doesn't line up well at all. All the pictures and everything I've seen of them, they look great. They look almost seamless. which I would expect on a $200 pair of headphones. But these, I'll be honest with you guys, I've bought $50 pairs of headphones that the hinges lined up better than these. It almost looks like these were damaged. I believe these may be defective, and so did Monster, or Beats by Dre. When I was talking to them on Twitter, they believe I might have gotten a defective pair as well. So, the hinges aside, they do leak a little bit, not really bad. I went ahead and used these for a couple of days after I did the unboxing, and you know, one other thing I wanted to mention is they also have a little gap here in the corners of the head pad rest. Not really a big deal. I don't think it's coming off or anything like that, but there is a small gap there, and it's also on the other side as well. Small gap there. Not really a big issue. But again, on a $200 pair of headphones, I would expect the utmost quality and attention to detail. So, you know, that was somewhat lacking, which, again, leads me to believe that these may be a defective pair that were damaged. As for leaking, they do leak a little bit. But I'll be perfectly honest with you guys, when you're wearing these things, they don't have any built-in noise cancellation. But when you're wearing these things and you have the music turned on, you can't hear a thing. As far as leaking goes, I don't really care if they leak, to be perfectly honest with you. If people around me can hear what I'm listening to, then, you know, whatever. I don't listen to my music at obscenely loud volumes anyway. Usually half to 3/4. I generally never go over that. So, wasn't really a huge issue for me. As far as audio quality goes, I found them to be a little bass heavy. Actually, they're kind of a lot bass heavy. There's a lot of bass in these headphones. Some people like a lot of bass. Me personally, I like bass. I want to be able to hear it, but at the same time, I don't want it to drown out the mids or the highs. Unfortunately, that's the issue with these. I don't know if that's because, you know, I got a defective pair and maybe the drivers are damaged as well. I don't know. But I don't think so. But it is possible. But I noticed that, you know, it tends to drown out the mids a bit. Which I also relayed that to Beats as well. So, all in all, I'm a little bit disappointed with these headphones. I'm thinking about trying it at the studios. I'll let you guys know how that goes. But as for the Beats by Dre solos, I know a lot of people out there that I've talked to on Twitter and so on and so forth have these, and they love them. They said the hinges line up perfectly, as you can see, obviously. Mine doesn't. That's a good 1mm gap there, probably, where it drops down. It almost looks like they're crooked. Like they may have been damaged during shipping and got knocked this way or something, and it actually bent the hinge. I don't really know. Since this plugs in one side and the wire actually runs all the way through to the right-hand side, that might make sense. That might affect the audio quality. Perhaps the wire in there is a little bit damaged. I don't know. But all in all, these were a little disappointing. To be perfectly honest with you, I was a little disappointed with these. They are, however, supremely comfortable to wear. They are super, super comfortable and snug without being too tight. I didn't have an issue with them falling off. You can move your head around and whatnot, and it's not a problem. They don't fall off. And they are really, really comfortable to wear. I wore them for an hour, hour and a half, and I had no issues whatsoever with them. Very, very comfortable. So I think Beats by Dre might have a really cool, really solid product here. Maybe it just needs a little refining. But, or, like I said, maybe I just got a bum pair. So, that's pretty much my final thoughts on the Beats by Dre Solo Edition headphones. That hinge really drives me nuts. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/UncleTone99. We'll see you next time.